We are live. Welcome to the Fanboy Modeling School. Fanboy Modeling School. Fanboy Modeling School. Hello and welcome to Fanboy Modeling School. I am, of course, the Fat Mantis, and I'm here with my man
Steve. Real name, no gimmicks. I survived flu apocalypse.
Flu-pocalypse, man. I love it. He's not just kidding. He really had the flu. People were saying he didn't.
Mostly you and Bex.
Yeah, me and Bex. We were talking shit as usual. But he has survived, and we're here to bring you Fanboy Modeling School. Unfortunately, a few days late, but just in time for the news to come in. Am I right?
Nothing but hard-hitting facts from one of the most trusted trades in the world.
No, I gotta say this. You know that I'm kind of a madman, but I'm going to tell you why the news has been getting completely out of hand right now.
Okay.
It's because it's a full moon, brother.
I don't believe in that witchcraft shit.
People are speculating crazy things about all this because it's a full moon. I'm telling you.
Wait, so let me see if I'm following you. The Hollywood Reporter.
Yes.
One of the oldest trades to be in space. To be in the space. Is scooping based off of what position the moon is in and how much of it is being shown.
They have a shaman with the skull of Walt Disney in a room somewhere going, the moon is in the 7th house. Wonder Woman is on the chopping block. Some old ass witch. Oh man, RM says I'm going to watch Harry and Meghan on Netflix 80 times just to make old white British women cry.
Yes, make them cry. Their sourdough tears filled with chips will make me feel better.
Greetings, everybody. Hello, Rogue Radio. What up, everybody? So this is normally we go on Mondays or Tuesdays-ish. Today is Wednesday, but we're gonna have a good time. Before we go any further, the Fanboy Modeling School is asking you that you like this video, subscribe to this channel, and keep tuning in to Fight Juice Online for Fanboy Modeling School exclusives and other nerd news analysis. And hopefully we'll see more gaming coming from this guy over here.
I know. Unfortunately, I beat God of War without you guys.
You son of a bitch.
I needed to just sit in my underwear and kill Nordic.
What up, brother?
I like that name in Enjoying the Sickness. It's a great name.
Enjoy the sickness.
So what do you I have no honorable mentions, right? Let's just jump right into it. What do you got?
I think we want to get into it. I think we want to get into entertain because all the news is in the entertainment realm,
right?
It's almost like Kanye, and thank God we did a special report on Kanye because I'm glad we're not. We're so over it. I'm glad we're not talking about him today.
Kanye, who?
Yeah, but he sucked all the air out of celebrity news.
Right.
Like people just don't want to go after him.
Yeah, I mean,
like he literally had a mic drop moment where he's just like, boom, try to top this, and no one can trend like this, man.
No, and it's like, why would you want to trend the way he's trending, right? I mean, forget all the like racist stuff, which you can. I love the background, by the way.
Thank you.
You can is that Queens? Is that the old flats in Queens where all the graffiti was?
I was just looking up graffiti pics, and I found
beautiful. I think it is, but I could be wrong. Forget all of that stuff, right? Forget that you got MMA fighters, UFC signed fighters from Israel calling you out to a fight. It's to the point where it's like anyone speaking out about it they have the right to, and him saying anything else is just sad at this point. So now we're going to shift gears to what's really important in the world. No, not the world economy. No, not the state of the climate. We're going to talk about the DC universe.
Right. Most important universe of all universes.
Not true, but
Shut up, you Marvel shill. Shut
exactly.
up, Marvel shill. Bax has given us her classic hashtag fangirls for fanboys. I love that. When we blow up, that's going to be our hashtag.
Yeah, that's a shirt right there. And Bex says, I'm not shit. No, Bex, you ain't shit because you didn't know I was there that night when you and Mantis were talking shit. And I was just sitting in my Theraflu like, these motherfuckers, I'll make these motherfuckers pay.
Plotting his revenge. Reese says, I bought God of War and haven't even played it. Whoa.
Ooh, ouch.
Well, Steve was on a mission. He I think you hate the pagan gods.
Yeah.
So you were like really looking forward to killing them.
Listen,
in combat.
so here's an honorable mention for you. I'm gonna honestly tell you, man, that we don't get a conclusion in this story. We do get some bookends on some story arcs, and I have to tell you honestly, man, what they've been able to pull off in this game, no spoilers, in regards to this story and the undertaking of the Nordic gods, considering that Thor is such a huge property in the MCU, they gave us their own version of Thor, and I actually really enjoyed it. And Odin really steals the show in this game. He is a bastard in
He
this
should
game.
be. He should. In Legend, he was bad. He was the
Yeah,
coolest bastard.
he's a bastard. Now, Kratos, um Kratos is a worn-torn, battle-hardened man who's just looking for peace and trying to keep his son alive. That's as much as I can tell you about the game. Like, it's literally the frustration of a father. Like,
And I'd like to point out that you said you had no honorable mentions, but clearly this is one hell of an honorable mention to God
yes,
of War.
yes, to God of War, man, to God of War. I don't know where they're gonna go with the franchise from here because the way they ended the game, it's like there are three possible places they can go. I would hope that they would give us a DLC, and just like, hey, here's a free one. This is the first game in a while that I beat, and I was like, all right, I'm definitely gonna run it back. That's how good the story was. Like, I felt like I missed so much, like in the heat of it, like just in a frenzy state. But I was like, wow, this is really good writing. It's probably the best writing I've seen for a game in quite some time. And I'm like, they really poured themselves into it. Shout out to Santa Monica Studios, man.
Oh,
Proving
hell
that
yeah.
games aren't dead. Proving that games aren't dead, man.
By the way, Rogue Radio is saying, I know how you feel. I had that flu last week. Happy you're better.
Bro, I had a fever dream that I was in a weed shop. Literally, like I felt like I was there, like
No, that really
buying
happened.
old. No, 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 because I woke up
That really
empty-handed. Yeah, I literally woke up. Uh, it was crazy. Yeah, at one point, I hate to say this, I thought you and I had a phone conversation, and then I actually spoke to you, and it dawned on me that what I thought we had talked about prior, you were like, "Hey, you down for a conversation real quick?" And I was like, "We just talked a couple minutes ago." I'm like, what do you have to talk about? And then I realized when we were talking, I was like, "Oh my god, I didn't talk to him at all."
You're having one of those Soprano moments. Remember when he gets food poisoning and he's having crazy dreams, and then he finds out he realizes who the traitor was in his
Yeah,
crew.
yeah, yeah.
Beck says he played it without us. Now he's trying to explain it. Reese says Sony giving away free dick.
DLC. DLC.
I read that as dick. Sorry, guys. Maybe I'm the one.
Hey, you know what? Shout out to the Avengers game. I don't know if you know this, man. Another honorable mention. They just rolled out their most anticipated DLC short of Spider-Man, but people are really, really excited about this one, and apparently they're gonna really enjoy it.
I hear it's the last one, though. I think I heard that they I don't know if that's true. I had heard a rumor that it would be the last one.
there's a rumor going around, but it's the Winter Soldier DLC. And
Ooh.
it looks really good. Character development looks good. It's the Avengers game, though. Like again, another game that had a great story, just not enough content. Caught a bad rap in many ways, but DL Bucky is in that universe.
I can't wait to buy it on discount and play and play and play for like 20
Why
bucks.
even buy it? It's a part of your PlayStation Plus subscription.
Oh, okay.
They're like, take it.
So, let's get into entertainment news right now.
Hold on, I gotta talk about what
I thought that our main one was going to be Star Wars, but it's clear that this one that everyone's saying right now, Wonder Woman.
Real quick. Enjoying the sickness You are probably one of 3 people that enjoys that game. That game is getting shitted on, which doesn't make it true. I'm not. I'm up in the air on whether or not I'm going to download it myself. Marvel's Midnight Suns. Apparently, it's just from reports from some people, not all. Very generic storytelling, very generic turn-based play, and just a lot of repeat NPC destruction, which describes a lot of video games. But you're the first person to say you enjoyed it publicly. So
See,
I might check it out based off
it
of that.
looks like fun, but I'm like a purist, and
Yeah.
basically like there's almost no members of the actual Midnight Suns in the game. It
Mhm.
just looks like an Avengers game, but they're wearing black costumes, and I was
Yeah.
like, this is stupid. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of leather on, but I'm glad enjoy and sickness. I'm glad you enjoyed it because again, I've been waiting for someone to tell me like, hey, this is worth a play. This is worth a play. So I might check it out based off of that.
It's that type of a game, not for everyone. Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
that. Okay, so Wonder Woman.
Oh,
So, and I'd like to point out what the article says. So the article says DC says that Wonder Woman 3 is they had some weird phrasing about it. Let me see what discussing film over on Twitter has to say about it. Um,
Beck says I'm innocent. Bex, you haven't been innocent since the second grade.
oh yeah, don't even try that. Yo.
You're probably the first one to throw me under the bus.
Uh,
While Mantis is doing that, how is everyone's evening going, fanboy? We don't even keep track of our anniversary. We don't know how long we've been doing this. I want to say the first episode was 2, maybe 3 years ago. I can't remember at this point, man.
I'm not trying to insult anyone, but let's face it, anniversaries are for women, and so we're two guys running a podcast. There's no way
Yeah.
we're gonna remember.
Well, boy, you got to do the anniversary episode where you hope that they donate just a little bit more than they
I wish I
normally
had thought of
do.
that. I honestly think this podcast started where we were just drunk one night, and you're like, "Want to stream?" And I was like, "Sure."
I went from one breakup to another in this podcast. It's just like but what else is going on in everyone's day? Why is my camera off? Sorry about that. Um DC in a
Uh,
state of chaos, man. Mantis doesn't want to believe the Hollywood Reporter, and I'm not mad at him for it, but they have not
uh,
reported on anything that has been absolute madness in quite some times. And your girl, your homie,
no,
went to
your
go see
homie. So
your homie
she's a disgusting animal.
went to go
She's a
see the new
disgusting
Avatar movie.
animal who cannot even be called a reporter. She's a freaking vile animal. That person. So I don't even want you to bring her up, but I mean, bring her up if you need to bring her up, but don't bring her up. Okay, bring her up. What was the whole thing? Here's the whole thing. I'm trying to find the phrasing that I thought was like suspicious. They
Okay.
said in its current state. They said there's no plans to move forward on it in its current state.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So
And
you know
so
what
that
that
could
means,
be talk for we're getting a new director and a new writer and switching it all up. We're gonna
right?
go in another direction. I think they'd be made a huge mistake if they're getting rid of Gal Gadot. So many people
Imagine all
love
the
her as
people.
Wonder Woman, they're not gonna accept a new one.
So here's the thing, right? That little phrase there can mean anything, right? In its current state, the script that was presented, they're like, okay, what's the Jenkins? You're out. We don't want any more of this. Maybe she presented another Wonder 2 esque you know script, and I forgot the guy that's co-writing it, whatever, but that could very well just mean that idea, that's that version, that incarnation, or literally just that script is done for and they've canceled it. They could be going back to the drawing board. What wasn't reported on was that Gal Gadot was stepping away from the role in any way, shape, or form. They just said Wonder Woman 3 is canceled.
That's exactly what they said, and so what it is YouTuber X, as RM is bringing back that phrase, reported, and she basically jumped right on the opportunity. Like, here's what's wrong with these scoopers: they
Right.
smell the blood in the water and they go for it, but very often they're wrong. And so I always know that it's a safe bet to place bets against YouTuber X. YouTuber X's wrong counts are greater than her victories.
Right, right,
And
right,
so
right, right.
she's quick to say this, and so she's quickly saying, "All of the DCEU is scrapped. It's all going to hell. It's all in flames." Here's all I'm saying is, I'm not disputing that it could be in flames, All I'm saying is we don't have enough to know what's really going on because this is wild speculation. It's the Wild West on the internet.
Well, okay, so I think I agree with that, but would it be the worst thing if they took Wonder Woman back to the drawing board? Would it surprise you that James Gunn and his co-partner saying, "Hey, we don't like the direction that everything was going in, so we're going to press pause on this and putting in a new direction." That part doesn't surprise me. You know what
I'm
I'm saying?
fine. I'm fine with that. Like I said, when I say I'm a Snyderverse, like I'm protective of the Snyderverse,
mm,
fuck Zack Snyder. I love him. Seems like a nice guy. Fuck him. Um, the thing that we need, that I want, is just to keep the same actors. Other than Ezra
okay.
Miller, I want everyone to stay the same. I don't want any recasts. I don't want to get used to a new Superman or a new Wonder Woman. I don't want to see some, you know what I mean? Like, F that.
Okay, so you're not even protect the Snyderverse. You're protective from the current cast verse.
I would love it if they brought in fresh talent, new writers, new directors, and they made them do crazy things. Like I would love Man of Steel if they had some crazy director just be like, "We're sending the Superman to space, man," or like something crazy. I'm cool with
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Hey
Rogue
man,
Radio
I
says,
gotta ask you
"Wait,
a question.
oh,
Are you talking lower because of your headphones? You-
so yes, so my headphone situation, everyone, because this makes me feel like I'm a fake streamer. Unless you got those big, although I could wear the big ones over it.
yeah.
The wire for my big ones is kaput. So I'm just using earbuds tonight.
All
And
right.
so what the problem is my own everything around me sounds fine. My own voice is booming in my ear.
Got you. Got you. Got you.
And
So you
so I'm
okay.
trying not to blow up my own ears with my own gigantic
All
voice.
right, guys. So if
Why
you
should I
look in the
speak louder?
description, no, you're good. If look in the description, go to Brunches at Mantis. Make sure you donate Hethenheisers. Sennheisers, I'm sorry, Sennheisers. Let's get Mantis a pair of $60 Sennheisers for Christmas. Let's hook them up. Let's go ahead and like really jump out the window here. So here's the thing, right? YouTuber X be damned, right? Won't use her real name tonight. I don't care what the scoopers are saying. What I do care about is quality control, right? And if Jenkins was heading down the same direction as Wonder Woman 2, which I still stand by, I enjoyed the movie, watched it recently, still enjoyed it, but it's not a Wonder Woman movie, right? It's like an
Wait,
Elseworld Wonder Woman movie. It's
wait,
like
1 or in 1984?
1984. Do
Right,
it.
okay.
It
Which, by the way,
reminds
that's a direct answer to Rogue Radio. Rogue Radio says, "Wait, there's a Wonder Woman 2? I've watched the first one. Where the hell is the second one?" It's
ooh,
called Wonder Woman 1984 and went straight to streaming. Came out during the pandemic. It's bizarre. I would say
very
watch
bizarre.
it. I would say watch it.
It's like a Twilight Zone episode. It
It
really
is.
is like
It
an Outer
really is.
Limits episode. Like if Wonder Woman, that's why I said Elsewhere. It really is like it, and I don't mean this no shade, man, no shade. It really is one of those projects where if you were reading it in comic book form, they brought a writer who's not used to writing comic books in to write a Wonder Woman comic. And they were just like, hey, give it, your spin. You put your flair on it. You remember when DC and Marvel were doing that for a while? They were bringing in outside interest to
I
write
can't
books and
stand
stuff
that.
like that.
The activist writers, novelists who like weird not yeah, it was all like basically every writer on Marvel, and I think DC is guilty of this too. But
Yeah.
it was a fad in comic books to take someone who doesn't write comic books, write something opposite of comic books, and be like, give them a comic book and see what they do. And they have like the writers, Lena Dunham from Girls writing a freaking
Yeah.
Robin comic book, and I'm like, what the hell is this
I
shit?
call it the Chase and Amy effect, right?
Right, right. Because
The
that's
Chase
so
and
funny
Amy
that you
effect.
say that because I actually credit this all to Kevin Smith. Kevin Smith
I knew
is the
you
one who
would.
started that. He
I knew
started
you
this.
would. I knew you
I'm
would.
just saying I think he was the first. He probably wasn't the first, but he feels like the first
I can't,
celebrity who doesn't write comic books who they were like, let's just bring him in and see what he does.
I can't believe that you didn't like the Daredevil, but you're not the only person. I actually really enjoyed his Daredevil
I
run
did and
there.
I didn't. You know what I mean? Like it's hard to explain.
It's hard to get it in there. You gotta spit on it a little bit. Oh, sorry. Anyway.
Oh, Jesus. Rogue Radio says now there's a third one. Well, the third one they're trying to create. We'll see if it's in danger right now. We don't know if it's
Yeah.
gonna come out. RM says, "You'll know I support all women except for YouTuber X. She can rot. I agree. Long Cavill is Superman. I'm good. Yeah, as long as that exactly. That's the thing. I want. But here's what it is. I don't think he got the fair shake
No,
that a superhero should get
no.
in a role. And people are like, he did multiple movies. If you look at say Iron Man, first one good, second one garbage, third one garbage. And you're like, he's getting catching more Fs than than he is Ws.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is going on? And then really, Iron Man shined in crossover events.
Oh yeah. Oh
And
yeah.
so if Thor can have 4 movies and only like one and a half of them are good, Cavill deserves more than one Man of Steel movie
Well,
to
let's be
prove that
clear
he's
about
good.
why Iron Man, Tony Stark, MCUs thrived in those crossovers. Small increments, right? Small increments. Iron Man has been the same way in the comics for me. His comics pre 1990s, pre early 2000, I'd be like, oh, Iron Man's here. Great.
Iron Man, I gotta say, when they announced Marvel Studios has been created, we're making 2 movies. I laughed at both of them. Their first 2 movies, Incredible Hulk, which I'm like, didn't they just do a Hulk movie, which wasn't good? And they're like, and Iron Man, and I was like, out of all the heroes, Iron Man is who we went with. It was laughable. It's laughable.
Yeah, but they really ran with it, and I think that's what James Gunn is trying to do, man. And he didn't get to start, he didn't get to start for this entire property like he would want to, but now he's got to make the best of it, right? So what do we got, man? We got Black Adam officially a flop, right?
Mhm.
Officially a flop, but Dwayne the Rock Johnson is probably going to get a Black Adam 2 movie. That's more than likely going to happen. I don't know who he's paid up with.
Here's actually what's happening. Here's what I have to say what's happening. And so I think a lot of people are doing wild speculations and they want to be the first one to call it. Be like, yo, I predicted it. I saw it.
Right,
YouTuber X doesn't know shit, and neither do any of these other people. The
right.
truth is, there's only 2 real people who really know what's going on. It is James Gunn.
Jesus and God. Oh,
It's
sorry.
James Gunn and that Saffron dude, and they together are formed. They said in the next couple of days they're gonna explain what their roadmap is.
Okay.
So
And I'm
only
okay with
they
that.
know.
Yeah, and I'm okay with that. And here's the thing: this I've always held this stance, man. Is I don't mind speculation. You remember a few years ago, I hated fan crafting and I hated speculation. I don't mind it as much anymore as long as it's with the caveat of, hey, these are our opinions and our predictions. But do not for a second present them as if they're fact or as if they should be the objective standard of what this movie should meet, right? But
That's
that's what YouTube is built off of. YouTube and scooping
yes.
is all built off of,
Scooping. They
what
don't care if they're
everyone.
wrong. People will forget that they were wrong,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, 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 yeah.
They always want to take
Eddie,
credit.
what's up, brother?
DJ Eddie Holler, my man. Everyone wants to get the credit for being the
Right.
scooper. They don't care if they're wrong. They're like, people will forget.
Yeah.
And it's just pathetic. And for instance, the narcissism in a lot of these YouTubers, I think maybe I'm not doing good as a YouTuber because I'm not narcissistic enough. For instance, YouTuber X constantly claiming that she taught us or put us onto something when she didn't. She's just like Kevin Feige said, just like I reported to you that he's going to. I'm like, you never said that, or you weren't the first one to say that. You didn't.
Yeah.
And I think in her delusional world, she is. She does
Yeah.
think that she puts us on everything.
She's got OG syndrome, right? She's got the same syndrome that a lot of pioneers in hip hop and rock have, which is like, I was the first to do it and I did it the best. Fuck her. Let's
Right.
talk about
But RM says Kevin Smith should never be allowed to write a comic book ever again. It should be called the Kevin Smith effect because he ruins every comic he touches.
Masters of Universe is a masterpiece. I've never watched it. I never watched it. I did try to watch Ronin. There's only been a few times where I've called Mantis. Like I usually will call you if something's good, but I've only called you a handful of times if something's bad. Because when it's bad, I'm just like, I'm not gonna bother anyone else with this bullshit. But I tried to watch that 47 Ronin Blades movie on Netflix, and I was like, this is fucking bad. And that's the effect that a lot of people had with Wonder Woman. So it does not surprise me that it's canceled as is. Now, I'll be waiting to see how the story develops and see if they say, hey, we've revamped it or James Gunn. But I wouldn't be mad ultimately if they removed Gal Gadot or if she,
Really?
yeah, no, or if she stepped away from the project. You got to remember, working
She
in these
literally.
spaces is
Oh, sorry.
extremely toxic. You people aren't the easiest people to deal with. All you fucking hardcores attacking people on fucking
Yo, are you
Twitter.
kidding me? I can't wait till Blade comes out so you can be angry at every little choice they make.
You said the same thing about Black Panther, and I'm just not that guy. I'm just gonna be like, well, I just
Here's what
want
it
to
is. You're
watch
not
it.
that guy with Black Panther, but you will be that guy with Blade because you love Blade more than anything.
It's true. When the doctor came in, he said, "I'm naming my son Blade." They're like, "You can't do that." And I'm like, "I can do whatever I want. This is America."
So basically, I will stop watching if they're doing reboots of DCEU. I'm not going to survive any more reboots. I'm over it. I'll turn my YouTube channel. I'll simply review Downton Abbey movies. I swear to
That's
God,
horrible.
I
You
will
might actually grow on that one.
right. I will review movies where it's like a mother and a daughter who are estranged learn to communicate again.
So you're just gonna be watching Lifetime? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, basically, I will absolutely do that if they freaking force me to leave DC because what they count on is that we're always going to come back. They're like
Yeah.
they're obsessed with us. They need us. I do not need any more reboots in my life. I don't need any of this shit. Absolutely not.
Hold on. Matt says Steve is wrong. DC fans are the most pleasant fans on the planet. Full stop. Right.
Yes, I love it. Thank you, Matt. Welcome in. Hail to Matt Cat. Hail to the
Right, right,
chat
right,
is
right,
what he
right, right.
has to say.
Ask
And Lady O has also
Walter
entered.
Hamada about the DC fans.
Honestly, I can't say what I want to happen to Walter Hamada because we're gonna get kicked off of YouTube right now if I say that. But there's a special place in hell for that animal. Hello, welcome to everyone who's just entered. We're talking about the rumors that Wonder Woman 3 is either, and they use vague language for a reason, they're either not going forward with what Patty Jenkins has put forward, or they're not doing it at all. And I think a lot of people are jumping on the idea that they're not doing it all. But check this out. You know how we're talking about YouTubers and all these people like trying to cash in and being like, yo, look, I scooped. You heard about that other, like, which I'm sure is a fake scoop
What?
going on out of this thing?
What, the Aquaman thing?
Aquaman, here's what it is. Not only that Aquaman won't be Aquaman again, but he's going to still be in DCEU, but play Lobo.
All right, let's the full stop right there. What about Jason Momoa makes you think that he wouldn't be balls deep in playing Lobo?
He would do that, but that would be the weirdest thing in the world.
Why? What would be weird about it? What would be weird about it?
That he stays in the same company, he just switches roles to a completely opposite role. That's
Bro, you gotta
wouldn't
think about
it be funny if the MCU was like, we're rebooting, and Chris Evans is gonna play Star-Lord now.
you stop this bullshit. If they told you that Tony Stark was going to be reborn and it was going to be Tom Cruise, you'd be all up in that. You'd be all up in that.
No, like I said, I'm not. Here's what I'm saying. For maybe a movie, if it's like a multiverse tale,
Yeah.
like I said, I'm sick of all the reboots. I'm sick of them constantly being like, we gave you a bad product. Here, we'll just give you a new one. No, that's not how it works.
Sometimes you can't course correct something bad. DJ Eddie says, FYI, I dislike this platform. I created a channel just to come and see you fellas. Hey, we appreciate that, man.
Eddie, thank you, man. That
I
means
can't
a
get my
lot.
uncle to make a fake YouTube channel for me, so I appreciate you, brother, for real.
Reese says Downton Abbey and Lifetime reviews. I'm gonna pray for the first time tonight. God, please reboot DC Universe so Mantis must change his channel. I will do it. I actually, you can all hold me to this. If Gunn in the next couple of days comes out and he says we're firing everyone, we're switching actors, new origins. Oh God, I don't want to watch anyone's origin ever again. Like I'm out. I am absolutely out.
You know what though? Here's the thing though, right, man? In regards to like, Momoa stepping into Lobo, I'm always the advocate if you can make it make sense, right? So we got the Flash movie looming in the background. They have the perfect MacGuffin up their sleeve, which is the Flash being a
I wouldn't say the
reboot.
perfect, but I hear what you're saying. They have a one.
They have a MacGuffin. I mean, when I say perfect, I'm not saying that it's perfect in plot.
Right, because
It's the perfect MacGuffin.
because I want to see if they could sell me this thing. They're like, he changed the timeline, so now Jason Momoa is Lobo.
I don't even think you forget that we grew up in the Family Matters time where it was like we grew up in the Fresh Prince time when Aunt Viv walked out the room one way and came back another way. We grew up during the time of Family Matters when a whole little sister walked upstairs and never came back down again.
Yo, do you know this about me? I hate, I hate, I hate recastings. It pissed me off in Batman when his girlfriend changes between the movies.
Mhm.
Yo, they do it in the Marvel universe. Yo, when War Machine changed, I lost my mind.
Bro, what were you supposed to do? Terrence Howard wanted way more money than he was worth at the time.
I mean, whatever the reason is, they need to make it work. But you can't have one. You can't, like you said, you on Viv can't be changing between scenes, man.
She was a psychopath. She was verbally assaulting people on the show.
I don't care if she's shooting babies out in the streets. You keep the same actor or actress and keep continuity, God damn it. I'm saying War Machine was a light skin and now he's a dark skin, and it
But he
makes
was a
no sense.
but he was a dark skin in the comics. Your woke politics.
But I'm saying in the middle of I'm saying they already chose a War Machine. Stick with it. Stick with
Yo,
it, man.
listen, man, and the immortal words of Terrence Trent Howard, man. Some mains got to go, so some mains can come in, man.
Matt says I'm fine with this reboot. I just think either a hard reboot or no reboot. So, Matt, I'm not convinced there is a reboot. I think it's a possibility that this people are jumping the gun on what's going on.
The
Notice I said,
James Gunn.
"Oh,
Boom.
fanboy modeling school humor right there." Um, I wonder what script was that Warner Brothers said, "Nah, this Wonder Woman script sucks, canceled." Well, remember, it's Patty Jenkins and someone else was writing it. So it was if it was anything like 1984, I could maybe James Gunn was just like, "This isn't good. We're gonna have other writers." I bet you he's gonna get a new director, honestly.
Yeah, no, listen, and again, man, let's be right sized about this. They have the right to try to bring us what they think is the best quality. And I think that we just need to look at the fact that what we have gotten in regards to DC hasn't been the best. So, are we going to allow them as fans to do something, which is we're going to tell a better story? And so, this is what I call the Mob Deep effect. People kept saying they love Mob Deep. We love Mob Deep. We want more Mob Deep. But then Mobb Deep was like, "Yeah, we're bringing you another album, but obviously we're not the same guys from Queensbridge." And then
And
motherfuckers are like, "Yes, you are.
and
Yes, you are."
right, and the sales weren't there.
The sales were not there.
Yeah,
They
the
were
sales
not
were
there
not
because the
there when
fans
they were like,
refused to grow
they're
what
like, "We're doing folk music now."
they didn't say they were
I know.
doing. That would be great. No, that was actually Lil Wayne. That was actually Lil Wayne.
So he says, "What if they do a reboot, but don't do origin stories? Would you be down for it?" Well, here's what I'm saying is like,
He hates
uh,
soft reboots.
I just here's what I'm saying. I just I like the actors, and I don't want to see even if they got the most perfect looking Superman. Henry Cavill's my Superman, and he isn't the prime fitness right now. Give
Yeah.
him a good movie. It will sell. Gal Gadot is like the perfect Wonder Woman. I don't want to see some other chick, I don't want to see some other chick
That's just because you want to see her and Bruce Wayne bang, you
I
pervert.
do. I think the cure's not how they cure the DCEU. They give Ben Affleck all the monies to come back, whatever it takes, and give him his Batman movie where
Right.
they'll have like either flashbacks or have like a plot where like we get to see Robin die and get killed by the Joker. That would be badass.
Yeah, I'm down
And
for that.
and then we have Wonder Woman 3 where Bruce Wayne or should I say Batman helps her and she gets over her last boyfriend by banging him.
Mm.
Amazon style.
I gotta admit, my favorite part of Wonder Woman 1984, that scene when she's in bed with a hallucinated Steve, and he's eating a Pop Tart, and she wakes up and he sees her, and he's just like, "Oh, what? What?" You know what scene I'm talking about,
I
right?
do know. It's a cute movie. It's like
It's a
some
very
people
cute.
give it too much hate, but Mantis, I disagree. Characters should be recast. No one owns a role. I love Carrie Fisher, but I'm cool with recasting Princess Leia.
Oh, Matt, spit that fire shit.
So Matt, I would say
Brokeback Batcave recess.
it, here's what I'm saying. I'm fine if they want to do Princess Leia in a different stage of her life. Yeah, no, I'd be fine with it. Like for instance, if they did a teenage Princess Leia or young Princess Leia with that chick from Stranger Things, that would be amazing.
Yeah, that'd be
Or you know what? Like I'm all about Sebastian Stan playing Luke. I'm
Yeah,
fine with
I
that.
was for it. I was for it. I was all for it.
I'm fine with that. I think it's like in between okay, here's how what it is. If here and this is just my own craziness. If they say like, "Here's Superman," and they're like, "30 years has gone by," I'm like, "Recast." Don't give Henry Cavill old man makeup. I mean, like, I'm fine with that. And so if they're doing like Leia in a different era, then that's fine, you know. Um,
Yeah,
I
no,
mean,
no, I get you. I get you, man.
but I just can't stand it. Like one movie, someone saw
So you're
one
saying that it's gonna pull you out of your fan fantasy,
or my
right? Because
fantasy.
you have
Yeah,
to
I'm
look
like,
at Jason Momoa as Lobo
that's gonna
now,
be
as
so
opposed.
weird. That's gonna be so weird.
Okay, I can dig it. And this is where you have the benefit of being like a diehard DC, right? You know, I've tried to get into DC comics for years. I've enjoyed some of their larger arcs. I enjoyed Man of Steel the movie. I enjoyed Zack Snyder's Justice League. I am in the minority. A lot of people hate the fact that I love that movie. I was like, this is a great movie. Um, so I'm going from there. I'm going from that launching point, which is if you're willing to do that, I'm okay with the next step, whatever it takes to get DC in a place where people can enjoy it. Because
Right.
let's be real, man, the Aquaman that we've gotten isn't really Aquaman, right? You know, it's not really Aquaman. The Black Manta we got wasn't really Black Manta. It was like the CW version of Black Manta, you know? It was
No,
like the
I
best.
think you're well, obviously that's like that for everything. Even in Marvel, like they don't like that's not really Captain America. That's not the real Captain
Yeah, but
America.
that was great though. You're
But
comparing
I'm
two
saying like
properties.
I like Aquaman the way he is. Like I
Yeah,
like
but
this
you can,
Aquaman.
but you keep contextually comparing two properties where it was like one was great, one was just like, well, this
No,
is the
I
best.
really enjoyed Aquaman 1. Like I loved it.
All right, let me give it to you this way: the best representation of a live, not live or not comics Black Manta I've ever seen has always been DC animated, where they've always beat
Oh
Marvel.
yeah. Oh yeah.
That's always been the best Black Manta.
Yeah, well, like I'm saying, I just feel like obviously everything's an adaptation. Nothing can be perfect. It's not gonna I always think about Maggie Gyllenhaal. Yeah, being cast as
Wait,
Rachel.
Reese. I don't think you heard me correctly. I like Zack Snyder's Justice League much, way better than Josh Whedon.
Brokeback Batcave. Mark Hamill gave his approval for Sebastian Stan to play Luke, and that's good enough for me. Absolutely, I think that will definitely go a long way. They need to greenlight this Luke show, the Jedi Academy show. Sebastian Stan, he could have a young kid who's young Kylo Ren, and his as his
Yeah,
sidekick, and they could
yeah.
just go on adventures, and we could see how he fell to the dark side.
Kylo Ren.
And it's funny you say that. Everyone actually, that's funny. That's almost a segue into our other story, but I don't know if we're there. And both Carrie Fisher and Harrison Ford were jaded and over Star Wars. They wouldn't mind, I think.
Yeah.
I think it'd be cool.
Oh yeah, there was an
Don't
Indiana Jones trailer that came out. Anyone care
don't you
about
think
that
it
shit?
don't you think it'll do I mean, we could talk about that. I mean, I have no interest in old man indie. That's
No, none
another thing.
whatsoever.
I don't like these old actors being like, "He's 80, but he's still indie." No. Indy fights Nazis and swings from a grappling hook. 80-year-old men can't do that. So, don't you think it'll be better if they do a complete hard reboot? Just don't do the origin story. I mean, everyone knows Batman's origin. I think they could do it and make it work. Because I'm tired of the reinterpretations. Like I did not like the Batman. And one of the things is I'm tired of the when people are like, there's all these things that are wrong with Batman, the Batman. He's not acting Batman-y. And he's like, this is my interpretation of the Batman. I'm sick of everyone's interpretation of Batman. Just give us what's on the goddamn page. Batman shouldn't be using the front door. That's like some of the things I'm saying. There's a part where he's like, I'm gonna go help the investigation. And he's shy and timid and he walks through the front door. That is the most un-Batman thing that has ever happened ever.
Let me go left. Let me go left for a second. Let me go left for a second. A little bit off DC, but still dealing with James Gunn. So
Okay.
Marvel rolled out the banner for the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. When they made the Eternals, it said what's her face's name, very small print. When they made something else, it said this person's film, very small print. And a very uncommon shout out. James Gunn got the biggest print, and this is an internet fact for Guardians. It says Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, a James Gunn film, right? And I think for the MCU to acknowledge that, hey, this guy is worth giving that big print to, we're giving him his swan song. I'm willing to see where he's going to take the DC, right? I'm not where he's going to take DC, and I think we just got to sit back and kind of let it happen here,
I
man, a little bit.
I like, I feel you. I do, I like him, and I don't, I wouldn't say I have complete faith in him, but I like him. Like, for instance, he messed up Taserface in Guardians of the Galaxy, but no one cares who Taserface is, so they
No
just
one gives a shit. No one gives a
that's yeah, but I'm saying he is good, and you gotta admit, here's one thing that people always say, like, look at Marvel and like this brand always makes a ton of money. It always makes a ton of money. Actually, no, it's a handful of directors who got them there, and James Gunn is one of them. Both of the movies he did, billion-dollar hits. And it's like
Wait,
it's
were both
him,
the
it's
Guardians
the
of the Galaxy's $1 billion hits?
both 1 and 2, yeah, broke a
Oh
billion.
wow, I didn't know that. I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
so he brings the hits. The Russo brothers brought the hits. A couple of these guys, but like for instance, there's other directors who like weren't bringing the hits. Like, what's his name? Is it Joe Johnson who directed
Wait,
the
hold up a
first
second.
Captain America? That wasn't a hit. like,
Wait, hold up a second. Matt just used the wrong word. Steve, you are wrong as shiz. Aquaman was amazing. Aquaman is amazing. Aquaman is the best DC character. No, Aquaman is the best. This version of Aquaman is the best of a very subpar character presentation. Let's just be real about that. Jason Momoa is great and he's lovable, and I love the dude. He's amazing. But let's be real about what we're being presented. If I go to a ghetto Chinese food restaurant and Roy tells me, hey, the wings are the safest thing to eat here, and they're the most favorite thing to eat, that doesn't make me think highly of the restaurant. It's just like, okay, this is the safest
because
thing to eat.
anyone can do fried wings. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, like at this particular junction, this place, these wings are the best. Now, I'm just saying that Black Manta that we were presented, the Aquaman, not that Jason Momoa wasn't great in it. That's not really Arthur Curry, right? That's not the Arthur Curry, and I'm okay with their interpretation. I'm just saying that I'm really interested in seeing potentially, hypothetically, Jason Momoa is a character who he can truly play, which is Lobo. He can be all the Jason Momoa he can be.
I would say that trust me, if it was back in the day and before he was cast as anything, and somebody was like, Jason Momoa, should we cast him as Aquaman or Lobo? I'd say, are you a fucking idiot? Do Lobo, you jackass. That's not a question. Trust me, if we had a time machine, I would rather see him as Lobo. I just feel it would be totally bizarre if suddenly he became Lobo. That would be just totally insane.
Now, but here's the question: will casual fans be taken back as far as you?
I think here's what it is. I think they care more about casual fans than they care about me.
Right.
They want the Snyder Cut guys out of here. The people who love Snyder.
Well,
Reed
you're a
says,
difficult group. You're a difficult group to deal with.
I actually agree with you. I loved Snyder's League, and trust me. Remember, I'm a dick about a lot of things, and Reese does agree with you. He thought you were talking about the Josh Whedon cut
Oh no one likes that. I
when they were
haven't met the
fighting
person.
Dobby the house elf.
No one likes the Whedon cut. Um,
But I'm saying,
yeah,
yeah, they do. They want us out of here. Here's what the problem is. Their box office isn't bringing enough normies, and they want normies. They'd rather pursue the normie dollar.
yeah.
Uh, Matt says, "I'm
I'm
just
just
tired of
tired of
being
being
embarrassed
embarrassed.
about the DC movies.
Yeah,
Just keep losing money, except Aquaman that made the money. Yes, that made the monies.
it made the monies. It definitely did.
It is really it's really hard to be a DC fan, and that's why YouTuber X is not a real DC fan. She's a monster. She is an absolute fucking monster. Sorry. I'm OD right now. I know I'm OD. Lady
That
says,
was
"I don't
great. That was
understand."
absolutely great.
Lady
She's
says,
a
"I don't
monster.
understand."
A monster.
And yo, one day I'm hoping that one day she misses her pills or whatever cocktail of crazy pills they keep her neurological disorders under wraps on, and she looks at herself like a real person and realizes the monster that she is.
So Matt asked Steve, do you want the hard reboot or do you want a soft reboot with James Gunn? Keep the same characters. Matt, I think you and I are going to be in agreement with this. If they keep the same characters and they do a soft reboot where I don't have to sit through origin stories, I'd be fine with it. It would be like right over my head because I know they went in a direction where everything was supposed to go. I think that the best opportunity they had for a soft reboot was Snyder's Justice League, and then going into Flashpoint, where they can just give us a different story and just, James Gunn doesn't want to be tied to bad storytelling before. I agree, keep the same actors. I'm okay with Jason Momoa being moved over towards Lobo, and then we get someone like, who can be a good Aquaman. I've been pondering this all day. Who would
But
be
wait,
a
you want to
good?
bring back Surfer Aquaman? I just here's what I'm saying. If I was an executive and Zack Snyder was like, "Yo, I'm doing all these movies, including Aquaman," I'd be like, "No, you're not doing Aquaman. There's no reason. No, people don't like Aquaman.
Well,
Aquaman's
do you think there's a chance that the execs were like, hey, we got lucky with this one, right? When we got
yeah."
lucky, you do what
And
you got to do. You
that's
do
what I'm
what you
saying.
do.
He was Aquaman when I was growing up was a barbarian of the seas. I understand everyone makes jokes that he's the blonde surfer. He was a blonde-haired barbarian of the seas when I was a kid with like long hair and a beard. In the '90s when everyone was trying to be edgy.
So
So
go
I
ahead.
feel like Jason Momoa's is like, trust me, his is way more edgy, but he's trying to be
I
that
think Jason
'90s
Momoa's
Aquaman.
Aquaman is more similar to the Edgelord version of Namor that they presented for a while, that had the crazy scruffy hair, than any rendition of Aquaman ever. Do you
No,
remember Namor?
there is definitely Edgelord Aquaman where he has long hair and he's fucked up.
No. That's just long blonde hair Aquaman.
Yes,
Jason
yes.
Momoa is Aquaman.
You
Is
mean
like Namor.
visually, maybe.
Listen, this is all I'm saying. So, of course, obviously, it's speculation at this point. So now we're just waiting. We're sitting back. We're waiting to see what's going to happen.
Yep.
What's James Gunn going to do? Right?
Matt brought up a very interesting thing that I didn't think about.
What's that?
His own project, Peacemaker, his baby, is in the original DCEU. So if he
Mhm.
scraps it, is he going to scrap Peacemaker?
No, he doesn't have to. See, that's the thing. You're not. I don't think you're getting. He doesn't have to scrap anything other than just saying that shit don't exist. Right? You think that he's tied to that one stupid ass scene at the end where he has Jason Momoa? He's like, yeah, get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. He's like, this is the better shit. I wasn't in control of anything then. Right? They barely gave me a budget for this show. Now I'm in control of shit.
Right.
Yeah, I think that he's gonna be okay with it.
Laney says, I don't understand why they're continuing indie. Makes no sense. Leave it where it was amazing. Don't absolutely. And so what it is not only is Hollywood in general creatively bankrupt, but
Oh,
particularly Kathleen Kennedy. She has
right.
no ideas, and we're about to talk about how stupid she is, stupid person she is. But
Wait.
she's the one who's like, it'd be great if we did another indie movie. And
Yo,
she has no original ideas.
Matt is a genius, man. He
Uh,
said, "What about Glenn Powell for Aquaman?" And I was like, "Oh fuck,
Who's
that's a
Glenn
good
Powell?
idea, bro." Look up Glenn Powell right now. You want an edge lord Aquaman? Look up Glenn Powell right now, bro. Matt, good on you for that one, bro. Good on you for that one.
Oh, he'd be classic Aquaman. That surfer dude you want to punch in the face. That dude right there.
Natives only, man. Locals only. Okay, so
Yeah,
can we just
and so
real quick
it's true.
before we
Here's what it is. They messed up. Yeah, they messed up with Crystal Skull. I'll definitely say that to Laney and to Reese. But they just love to keep putting the things in. Can I talk about my Star Wars news?
yeah, go for it.
So, guys, this is breaking, but this is breaking only from
Ugh,
one
yuck.
YouTuber is
You
talking about it.
ruined my day. You actually ruined my day with this shit. Like I was sipping on Theraflu when you called me with it, and I'm like fighting to stay alive. And you told me, and I'm just like, this is another fever dream. This can't be real. Go ahead.
So, guys, so if you guys know, there's Star Wars Theory, and Star Wars Theory is the top
Yes.
Star Wars
Shout
YouTuber,
out.
and he's
Shout out.
yeah, great dude. I love his videos. I love his whole scene. He's got about 3 million or more and more followers and all these things, and so he's one of his buddies is called Den of Nerds.
Den of Nerds. Yeah.
And so he just does general comic book stuff. He's more into comic books the way I am.
Comics, MCU, yeah, media, all types of shit.
And so together they do a weekly stream called Nerd Theory, right? So their names combined. And so yesterday, it must have been yesterday. It was Nerd Theory's birthday. And
Right.
so he says, he's just like, I know someone at Lucasfilm, and they said for my birthday, they're gonna give me some scoop. And so they gave me a scoop. And we're like, what is the scoop? Now, a couple of days before that, Daisy Ridley was trending on Twitter because
Yeah.
people saw her go into the Lucasfilm building, which means she's meeting with execs about something, right? And so he's confirming now that he's saying that, like, this is up from Den of Nerds. He says that they are going to have her and the other cast characters from the sequel trilogy be guest stars in the new Star Wars movies. They're gonna have them, like, the movies will have something to do with them.
Right.
So they are doubling down on the new Star Wars. Like Daisy Ridley, Poe Dameron, all this stuff. And I remember I was pissed. I told my sister, she was pissed. I'm pissed. I'm kind of pissed. I
Yeah.
don't like this.
Yeah. I don't get this because okay, there's only one story I would be interested in seeing, which is the correct telling of Finn's story. You know, the story where he actually turns out to be a Jedi and he's not just some weirdo fucking obsessing about some girl. If you want to tell that story, yeah, I'm down for it, bro. Like,
Right.
but I'd even be interested in the gray Jedi shit they were trying to set up with Daisy's character, but not at the expense of what they're doing with Mando. Everything is at the expense of what succeeds, right? So right now, the only thing succeeding is Mando, right? We're hoping that Ahsoka is good. I think we can all agree that Obi-Wan left us wanting and was, lackluster. Boba was lackluster. It had its moments of where it waxed greatness. But at this point, it's like, why tie me to something that I hate? I hate the new trilogy.
Because here's what I'm saying. You remember when we watched the new trilogy and while it was unfolding, we were hoping it would get good,
Yeah.
right? And
Well, the first one was good. I won't lie.
yeah, I stand by the first one because it opened up all these questions that they just never answer, but would have been cool if they did. But like, remember when the old characters would appear, the audience would cheer, right? Harrison Ford comes out of the ship, "Ooh," right? He's like,
Yeah,
what have you done with my ship?" Or whatever. We see Wookiees, we're happy, that kind of stuff, right?
right.
Let me ask you, do you think that like Daisy Ridley appears in the new Star Wars movie? Like suddenly our characters run around a corner and they run into Daisy Ridley and she's like, "Hello, children." Do you think the audience is gonna cheer?
It's so hard to call what the casual fan is going to cheer because I don't know if they feel as strongly about her character. But I'm going to go ahead and say no, right? But it's hard to tell what the casual fan enjoys, right? Because a lot of people like Daisy and they're just like, "What's wrong with you? You live in your mother's basement. You hate this character. You chauvinist." I'm like, so it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell, bro.
Yo, RM says, laugh out loud. Glenn Powell would make Aquaman into an unironic deep from the boys. That is absolutely true.
Oh, come
That
on,
is that is
man.
the greatest statement ever.
Come on,
Star.
come on, come on, come on, come on, come on.
You all right there?
Yeah, no.
Pat says, "I do like Star Wars Theory. I'm not a fan of the crying though. Makes me
Oh.
uncomfortable. I'd cry, but I don't know how." Okay, so for all of those know, Star Wars Theory is famous for various things. His most recent one is them about the whole brick. You know about the brick thing?
No.
The latest episode of the final episode of Andor had a story. Like, there's a subplot about a brick. They're taking on this planet when people die, they cremate them, and because they're working class and they're proud of
Mm,
working class, they have you cremated and turned into a brick, and then they put you into a wall. And despite all these things happening in it, Star Wars Theory was obsessed with the brick and wouldn't stop talking. And he's like, "I don't understand how that works. Why would anyone do that? That's so stupid." And he just during his live watching it, obsessed with the brick. So everyone mocks him on the internet. So he does things that are worthy of getting mocked in a cute way. But the funny thing is that when Luke came back at the end of Mandalorian 2, he started crying on
Isn't he
screen.
like a cancer survivor? Doesn't that trump anything? It's like, well, he survived
Yeah,
cancer. You know,
his
I'm not
poor
making fun of
kid.
this motherfucker.
Yeah, I don't know, but I mean that sounds like that works. But he's crying. He's like crying on camera, and then what's something Hidalgo from who works for Star Wars, like a real Star Wars dude, is like this is the problem with Star Wars, and he puts up a clip of him crying,
Yeah.
and
It is most certainly one nerd attacking another nerd for sure. For sure. But to get back to the original point here, why are they tying us to this? I don't know.
I
I
can tell
don't
you
know.
two words. Two words will answer this. Kathleen Kennedy. She clearly does not know what she's doing.
I think Kathleen Kennedy is trying to tank the entire project, or she's the perfect scapegoat, right? Because at a certain point, Disney's not in the same place as DC, as DC, right? As Warner Brothers. Like, we already greenlit these properties. So now we're going to roll them out no matter what. We're going to get what we can. They've been greenlit. They're in pre-production. We're going full steam ahead. But man, Kathleen Kennedy, as I said on Early Fanboy and Talking with a Dad, you do the hard thing now or you pay for it later. And she should have been out a while ago. And damn the optics. Because I think female Star Wars fans know that, like, hey, this doesn't have anything to do with her gender. This has to do with the direction that this person who was supposed to, and by the way, George Lucas picked her. George Lucas signed off on her. Everyone
Taking
makes a
the
bad
throne.
decision. Yeah, everyone makes a bad pick, You know what I'm saying?
And I know a lot of people are like, "What about Dave Filoni? Shouldn't it have been Dave Filoni because he learned under
He doesn't
Lucas
want
as
it.
well." Well, no, but I'm just saying at the very beginning when he sold it, it's because he wasn't there. He was still an
Yeah.
animator. He wasn't ready to take over an empire. I think he's ready to take over an empire now. You're right. He doesn't
Right.
want it now. But you know what another thing is? I don't think there are a lot of people who wanted that job. Like,
No.
who wants to take over Lucas's, like, fill his shoes? Impossible shoes to fill.
Who wants to entertain you people? Look at how toxic you are. You're horrible. You're horrible.
You pretend like you're not a toxic fan. Like, you don't send death threats to Ryan Johnson every week.
I send death threats to Wesley Snipes. He's the only person I send death threats to.
Matt says, yeah, they'd effed over Finn. He should have always been the main character as a Jedi. Missed opportunity. I agree.
100%. 100%.
And I honestly, it seems like Finn. The rumor is part of the rumor is Boyega hasn't signed up with this idea yet because he's still mad at Star Wars. And however, I think he's the one character I would want to see more of. I want to see him have a story where he's a Jedi. I want to see him in a movie as a Jedi.
Yeah,
I'd clap for that. I'd clap.
Yeah,
100%.
100%. 100%, bro.
Lainey says Boba had so much potential and they turned it into trash. Yeah, they just keep cranking out bad stuff. And so Andor was good. It's not great. It's often slow. I just feel like when it's good, it's amazing, but they just need to they need to learn to edit. I would share Frey died. That would be great. Pablo Hidalgo says RM. He used to host all the Star Wars panels at conventions. He made them boring as shit. That man hates the fans. Wow. That's another thing. Why do all these guys hire people who hate fans? Why are these companies mean to fans?
Well, what about the producer from the MCU who says it's a red flag if someone comes in for an interview and says they're a fan of the original source material?
That is the most disgusting statement ever.
You know what I'm talking about, right? You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, they did say that. That's absolutely. That was in an article. That he says it's a red flag if they say they're a fan. I want to hire non-fans. How is that working out for you, idiots? They really put themselves in a bad place in Phase 4. I know Marvel fans are going to be like, "It's not that bad. It's not that bad. Why is everyone coming for the MCU? It's bad. It's really bad."
Phase 4 sucked.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
Yeah, I think there's only like 2 movies that I really enjoyed there, and the rest I would not wanna watch again. I wouldn't rent. I don't wanna own in my DVD collection or something. A lot of the shows are just like, they're okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
They didn't ruin my day, but
No direction. They had no direction. I do not know how Falcon and the Winter Soldier ties into the multiverse saga in any way,
you're
shape,
absolutely
or
right,
form.
and I actually liked Falcon and Winter Soldier,
Yeah,
but I would say you're right. That has nothing to do with any of this other stuff.
not one bit.
No.
Not one bit.
KK is retarded, says Matt. Spielberg said she couldn't even take notes. She sucks at everything. She probably can't even I'm not gonna finish that statement because it will get me in trouble. But, she's been a producer for so many years. She's worked in one way or another in every Star Wars movie,
Right.
and she started from nothing, from, like, a little intern or whatever, and moving
Yeah,
on.
sometimes you just gotta be willing to say, "Fuck that." We thought you had potential. My bad. Right? Like, bow
Yes,
out.
someone has to be the adult in this company, and so remember, it's not making friends, it's making money, is business, and so Lucas might have loved her because he's like, "I've been with her forever," but now that Disney owns it, a Disney CEO, like one of the Bobs, should have been like, "Yo, homegirl, this isn't working out."
But here's my argumentation right here, man. If you can fire a CEO on the spot on a Sunday, you most certainly should not be scared of any blowback from firing her.
Yeah, that's another thing. A lot of people are always like, "Why didn't they take care of it before?" And it comes down to this. They're like, "Well, they don't wanna disrespect that person in the industry because they're well respected." And I'm like, What about making money? You're here to make money. So you
Yeah,
wanna give this person a cushy job and let them keep tanking your property?"
yeah, no, get
It's
her
it's
out of there. Get
but
her out
honestly,
of
I think Iger I'm not like an Iger dick sucker. I'm just letting this be known. But I do think he is gonna come and clean shop, and I think someone he's coming for is Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Um,
And I honestly do think he's gonna be like, "Kevin Feige, we need to have a talk," and he's gonna probably tell him to get his shit together. He doesn't have to be a dick about it, but he could be like,
yeah,
diminishing returns,
you're gonna
bro.
treat Kevin a little bit different than you treat her. You're gonna treat Kevin like the guy that's your star quarterback that's been screwing up. Like, all right, bro, that's enough weed smoking.
You've been hanging out with these trashy trailer girls, haven't you, bro? You need to stop that. You need to focus about the game, man.
um,
Focus on the game.
while you still have me, while I'm still coherent, right?
Okay,
Let's just talk about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 here for a second.
okay. Did you see the holiday special?
I have not watched it yet, but I watched your review.
I really enjoyed it.
I watched your trailer review for Volume 3 as well. Good work
Right.
as per usual. A lot of buzz around this trailer, right? So let me just get into the formulaic stuff that's kind of bothering me. I feel like after Thor Love and Thunder, Marvel's been following the same trailer rollout, catchy music, blah 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 blah.
And yeah, and now it's not like orchestra. It's always like some pop song from 20
Yes.
years ago.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Exactly. So I just want to get your uncut, uncensored thoughts on the Guardians Volume 3 trailer. Adam Warlock, all those things.
Okay. I think the worst part of the trailer was Adam Warlock
Yes,
because
I
we only
agree.
saw him for like a brief second. Maybe they're not worried. And this is so stupid. One of my complaints is he's not gold enough. Because, Aisha in the last one, Elizabeth Debicki played her, and she was gold as all shit, but I have a feeling they used special effects to make her look more gold.
Right.
I think that's what it is. That's why we didn't see a lot of them. They haven't done all the special effects,
Okay.
which is why it was not it didn't look impressive to me. However, the rest of it looked really fun. It looks like a movie I really wanna see. I can't wait to see. I'm worried. So apparently multiple characters die in this movie.
Yeah, yeah. And which is consistent, not the death part, but Guardians of the Galaxy in the comics switches over, there have been multiple characters that have been on that roster. My problem with Adam Warlock and the casting is, you realize we're talking about Space Jesus, right?
Yeah.
That's what Adam Warlock is. He is literally Space
Space,
Jesus.
yes, he is.
And I feel like if there's going to be one character that's really hard to fill that casting with, it's Adam Warlock. It's going to be Blue Marvel, and it's going to be fucking Sentry, right? Because these are like, they're hard to it's
Yeah.
hard to cast these characters, right? It's hard to cast these
Well, I
characters.
think it's funny that you named them because I think all these characters are well known for their good looks.
Right. Right.
And like for instance, like the actor, I'm a straight man. I don't mess with dudes.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is, the actor that they got to play Adam Warlock does not seem like he's
Like
as
Space
handsome enough
Jesus.
to be Adam Warlock.
I'll just remember as the thick leg kid from those movies where they were running around the maze. That's all I know, man.
I just, I don't know what's going on with that, but I have faith in Gunn for the most part. I do think it's clearly they're going into Rocket's origin. They're interwoven it with the High Evolutionary. It
Right.
all looks like a lot of good, clean fun. I just wish they could have unfolded more character stuff. Like for instance, Drax in the comic books has such a rich
So
history and his great plot, and they haven't gone into any of his character. And it doesn't look like they're going to have time to go into his character.
yeah, Batista is done from his own accounts, man. He is done with it.
But like the whole thing is, and actually, I had a whole theory. I got multiple theories. Now, there's no indication that they have cast this person, but if Batista's going to leave this project, it would be cool for multiple reasons if he meets his long lost daughter, who he thought
Oh,
died by
Moondragon?
Thanos'
Yeah,
hand,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Moondragon. Because you know what's really interesting about Moondragon is in Guardians of the Galaxy, at a certain point, when after this is way after Thanos has been dead for years, and she becomes pregnant, and she starts having like one of those magical births, and it turns out to be Thanos, and that's the way he returns.
Really? I didn't know that was one of his resurrections.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was one of his resurrections. And Moondragon has her own, like, the murderer of her mother, gives birth to him, and then he instantly grows into an adult, and it's like totally crazy. And I was like thinking, if they ever want to make like Thanos return, that would be a wild way to do it.
I like that. I do prefer his return after Jonathan Hickman's. Don't worry, I'm not invoking Hickman, but when Thanos when he rips his way back into the multiverse, because it's like, oh yeah, he's banished from the realm of death. I've always liked that return of Thanos so much. It's just like, I feel a bad vibe. You feel a bad vibe, and it's just Thanos ripping through the multiverse like, I'm back, bitches. But I could dig that. Man, Moondragon's one of those characters that I feel like was woefully underused in the comics for so many years, and then they were like, oh, let's try to do something, and they turned her into an actual dragon. I'm not gonna get into that.
I mean, that's bizarre. Also, I would say like Gamora in the trailer has almost no screen time.
Yeah.
I have a feeling she's got a lot of screen time with Adam Warlock. In
One
my
of
whole
her love
theory was
interests. One of her love interests. Yeah.
yeah, and so that's why I think that we didn't see a lot of her. But I am excited to see this. I really want to see this. I really want to see this movie.
Now let me ask you a question. Do I need to watch the Guardians holiday special?
I would say yes.
Okay.
I don't know why you wouldn't. It's so good.
I want to watch it, but I'm just like, holiday specials, Halloween's one thing, but Christmas is always like,
Wait, let me ask you something.
yeah, go for it.
Are you not a Christmas guy?
No, I love Christmas. Yeah, I love Christmas.
Are you a Grinch?
I'm a curmudgeon for sure.
Yeah, why would you not turn on a holiday special, which is just code for Christmas?
Long. It's an hour. I got life to live.
It's a good time. You're gonna have a good time.
Really? Okay.
Chat. Convince this man to watch.
Okay, I'm gonna watch it. That's no problem.
I wish they gave Gamora her 80s costume with the fishnets. Very sexy. That's another thing I gotta say. I really want all the characters to have their original costumes at one point. The other MCU characters did it. I feel like why not the Guardians? And even if like this costume isn't serious, even if it's on for a second, like they have a silly reason why they're wearing it, I would just like to see that.
Well, they did give them in the trailer. You see, they have the Guardians accurate uniforms at one
Right,
point
but I'm saying
from
each
later
character had
years.
their own unique costume before they
Yeah.
joined up. And so I would love to see Gamora in the fishnets. I would love to see Drax with the purple cape and the purple like
Oh,
little
now
like
that's the
baby pin.
Drax I know. That's the Drax I
Yes,
voted
that's the
for.
Drax I grew up with. I would
Yeah.
love to see him in just once, just one like one short scene. You know the way Captain America wore the
Yep.
stupid Captain
Yep.
America costume when he was doing the USO tour?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that kind of stuff. Or like, Iron Man, we get to see his original costume when he's in the cave.
Yeah. No, I'm with
Like,
it. I'm with it.
that kind of thing. So, I would love to see it. I don't know if he's gonna, I don't know if he has the time to do it. He has so many characters that he has to try to close the book on.
Who's that?
Gunn, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay.
he's got what, 2.5 hours, but there's a bunch of Guardians. They can't
So who
all
do you
go.
think is gonna die? This is the big buzz in the internet. Who's gonna die? Who's gonna live? Peter
I
Quill, I think, is gonna live.
I think Drax is gonna die. I think Peter Quill
Drax
will
is
live.
definitely dead. He's done. Dave Bautista said he's done. He's dead.
I think they're
Dead.
trying to trick us into thinking Raccoon's gonna die. Rocket. I do not think he's gonna die.
Okay. Okay. So you got
Uh,
Quill, you got Rocket, and who else you got?
so will Mantis die? I don't know if I would hate it if she died.
I heard
That
she's
would
really good in the special.
She's so funny, man. It's funny, man. You're gonna have a good time. I
I
can't
don't
believe
like good times. I'm here for a bad time
I
in a
know,
short time.
I know. The Guardian special is fantastic, Steve. You won't be disappointed. It's such a good time, he says.
Okay, okay. I'm gonna check that out. I'm gonna check it out.
You think they'll ever have Pip the Troll on team? So yeah, I mean that's so weird that they made him Star Fox's servant when he should be Adam Warlock's. It's just bizarre.
So the way they did the whole thing, because it's actually Pip is a part of the Infinity Crusade team or
Right, right.
Infinity Watch,
Infinity
yeah,
Watch, yeah.
Infinity Watch, and so is Gamora, Drax, Pip, Moondragon, and
Yeah.
Adam Warlock after the disbanding of the Infinity Gauntlet. And they all get a gem. Turns out later we find out that Thanos is the holder of the reality gem. This is a huge part of their story arc. We didn't know for years or a year or so who was actually
Who
holding
had the
the reality
reality?
gem. Yeah. Um, I think they missed the boat not introducing Moondragon in early. I think that would have been a great dynamic to see
She's a good
because
character. She's
Drax
good,
is an
important.
Earthbound hero. He's actually from Earth. He's
Yeah.
not from so it's weird. It's weird. It's weird. Very weird. Very weird.
And so they better not touch Mantis. No, they better not. I love Mantis.
She's
She's like
cute.
my sister
She's
from
adorable.
another
She's
mister.
great in the game too. Have you played the Guardians of the Galaxy
Oh
game or
no, I
not?
haven't.
She's awesome in the game, and you don't even. She's not even a playable character, but just her cutscenes, they're amazing.
She's great. So, um, why does it feel like we went? Oh, Groot. Nobody cares if Groot dies. That's the problem.
He boy just comes back. He's not a real person. It's Vin
Yeah.
Diesel
So
for
like
God's sakes.
he's a non-character. We don't really care about him. We've already seen him die.
Yeah.
Who else? Oh, we have Nebula.
Now that's a
Uh,
character I gotta be honest with you. I've become more invested with the MCU version of Nebula than I ever was with the comics. I have never cared for her character in the comics, but I've liked the arc they've given her in in the movies. I have to say that I have, man.
Oh yeah, no, I like everything they're doing here. Nothing is that offensive, but then again, like we've said before, Guardians is like one of those teams that like even if you read them, you don't adore them, so you're like,
Right.
it's cool. They
Right.
changed something. It's cool. Um, I don't know. I'm excited, man.
I'm excited for it.
You
Folks,
know,
this is not Mantis, but I'm going to end early because I am still clearly sick.
okay.
I am dying slowly over here right
I'm
now.
sorry, brother. I'm sorry. Super quick
Super
before
quick.
we
Go
end.
for your thing. Do your thing, man. Even if it's
No,
tough.
I want to know what your thoughts on our Avatar. Avatar, is it gonna be a thing? Is this the movie that's gonna save Hollywood? You heard it's $400 million budget.
Bro, every part of me wants to say that this movie is gonna flop, but I know for a fact that the first one was the juggernaut, and I just feel like people are gonna show up in droves in response to Marvel DC fatigue, and they're gonna want to see something other than superheroes, man. And the first movie was such a phenomenon, and even though it wasn't anything we hadn't seen before, it was Dancing with Wolves, it was Stargate, it's all these movies we've seen
Fern
before,
Gully. Fern
but it's
Gully.
something easy for people. With Fern Gully, I love Fern Gully.
I love Fern Gully too. I don't know if I want to see another Space Fern Gully though.
But I just think it's something so easy for the general populace to consume. I think it's gonna smash. And I think YouTuber X is gonna jump on the bandwagon on that one.
Oh, already has. That's how I know it's gonna suck because she said it was so great.
Did she say it was great? I didn't finish the review. I
Well, she
watched
wasn't
it.
allowed. Here's what she wasn't allowed to say it, but all points signed to her. Her having a little, a little crush on that movie, which means it's gonna suck.
Bro, here's one thing. Fuck Avatar, right? Here's one thing I've been trying to figure out, right? So I recently rewatched every DC animated movie ever made, right?
Mhm.
Because they're all on HBO Max, most of them, right? But the ones that weren't there, I paid for them and I watched them again. And it amazes me. It amazes me. It amazes me that we don't celebrate their animated cinematic universe as much as we should. It's absolutely amazing.
It's amazing.
I challenge you to go back and watch everything before Flashpoint and then everything after Flashpoint. I was like, holy shit, there's a cohesive story here. I'm like, this is actually really freaking good. I'm like, it's amazing, bro.
I love DC animated films. I love, well, for the most part. Obviously there can be a mixed bag. Like I didn't like Batman Ninja.
No, yeah, it's
Yeah,
nonsensical.
right. But
Nonsensical.
the other stuff is great.
I didn't like Injustice, but I was just like, okay, okay. So
RM says it's going to make a lot of money because all the weirdo furries who wanted to be Na'vi when the first movie came out
good
will
point.
come
Good
out of
point, man.
hibernation and see it multiple times.
Good point. Good point.
Avatar 2, I have zero interest in this movie. I have zero interest as
None.
well.
I have none. No
I,
pre-orders. You notice I didn't hit you up. I didn't hit you up, and usually
I'm
me and Mantis have a thing where it's like he'll pay for my movie, I'll pay for his movie. Neither one of us hit each other
and
up.
then yeah, we did not when a big movie's coming out when he hit each other up, we did not even bother because people were like, let's pre-order. I don't know who is pre-ordering.
I don't give a shit about this movie.
It'll make money. But if it really costs $400 million, like what kind of psycho makes a movie like that?
Fuck this movie. I am very, very, very cautiously optimistic about Ant-Man. I've been bit by the bug, the ant, as it were, and I'm just like, this movie might be really good. It might be really good.
Really?
Yeah, like a part of me, like I've been rewatching the trailer, and I'm just like, majors, everything that I'm like, this might actually be a good launch for Phase 5, and I'm like, because they're gonna take Ant-Man darker than we're used to him being. Yeah, I actually think we might see more deaths in this movie than we'll see in Guardians. I'm calling it now. I feel as if though this movie is going to be a sleeper. I don't know if Scott Lang is going to die. He's not really
I,
that
I
relevant.
I have no idea whether he's gonna die. People are trying to speculate on that so much. Matt says, Mantis, Steve, I see you.
We see
Aw.
you too.
He says that the DC animated universe is awesome. I love all those movies. Assault on Arkham. Come on,
Great
yeah.
movie. Great movie.
Yeah,
We're
good
all
time.
waiting for the fucking Suicide Squad game we were promised. We got that great cutscene for. Oh, wait, one last honorable mention. So for all you Jedi Fallen Order fans, the release date was announced and then deleted by that team, Jedi
What?
Fallen Order. So you can actually put it in your wish list on Steam, not on the PlayStation Store. The new Jedi Fallen Order game,
Right.
and yeah, it looks like it's going to be March, and it's going to be releasing around the
It,
time Boba and all these other things. I don't know
it was
why
an
they.
accident that they released it, or
I don't know if it was an accident or like promos, but it's coming out, man. And from all accounts, this could be the game for 2023. It's going to be between God of War and Elden Rings for 2022. I
Right.
think God of War is going to be Elden Rings. I don't understand why people love that game so much. I know it's amazing, but it's Elden Rings. You know, it's a bunch of madness.
It was an addictive game. People were just addicted to it.
Yes, they were, but
Even though some of the mechanics were really stupid, like old school mechanics of gaming.
who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
You know, but it looks like for Jedi's what is it? Fallen Order, or Survivor or whatever. It's going to be the game. So yeah, they
Yeah.
just they rolled it out for the wish list for Steam, and
There we go. That's what's up.
I'm
That's gonna
looking
be
forward
great.
to
It's good stuff. Matt's oh, you're out?
it. I'm so tired.
Okay, I'm sorry, guys. I keep postponing it. It is time to wrap it up. Thank you so much. It's been another episode of Fanboy Modeling School. Shout out to each and every one of you. Would you like to promote yourself, Steve?
Not me, but Princess Bex is going on tomorrow night with SOK for a pillow talk, and it's going to be a great conversation. And then we're all looking forward to our first and in a long time. We're going to have Rogue Planet on a Saturday, which is one of the days it started off on, and I'm really looking
Yeah.
forward to that.
I've gone that hasn't gone full circle, but it has hit on many days. This show has gone full circle. We've at one
multiple
period
times.
of time had a different stream on every day.
Yeah, but I remember when Rogue Planet was bouncing around, and Saturdays was one of my favorite days because it's like, okay, now I got something to look forward to on Saturday. Besides my family, I love you.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. This is great. So, guys, tune into Princess Max's streams on Thursday. And of course, Rogue Planet. I'm going to have Bellboy, and we're going to be talking anime. It's an anime archives. We're going to be talking about the show Erased. However, I'm going to try to trick him to also talk about Chainsaw Man. But yo, remember to like this video, subscribe to this channel, keep tuning in to Fanboy Modeling School. You guys all live the dream. Thanks for coming out. Till next time, ciao for motherfucking now.
Peace.
Peace.